Oh, okay. So it's 2018, and all cylinders are firing. We've got a record together. Callum's something's happened in his life, so I go around to pick him up to go to rehearsal to start rehearsing all this new music. And guess in the car he's all bummed. I'm like, no worries, dude. We're gonna get us some milkshakes. Everything's gonna be sweet.
I go, yum.
So, I love milkshakes. Callum says
such a fucking stupid story. I don't know why I'm saying this. And anyways, we get milkshakes. We crash the car. We still go to rehearsal. That's the way I perceive it in my head. Rehearsal was the only thing we had. No, I don't know. I didn't really know what to touch on first.
I think a big moment was even just getting the third album done and getting it over the line and getting it there, and then like positioning it for a single to come out with "Want You Back." That's a huge milestone after getting through 2017 of fighting to create something from nothing, and then finally be able to release it. And then we knew we had to sort of start, because we sort of had felt like we'd start again is a bit extreme, but like had to do some real searching on what the band's going to be for the next 10 years. We did a run of small shows, 5/3 tour, which we were playing the new album on and just sort of like going around and visiting fans around the world.
Yeah, I remember pulling up in Sweden and getting backstage in the dressing room back there, and it was a very small room. Lots of mirrors everywhere.
Oh yeah.
just looking at yourself no matter where you go. It was very strange. And I just remember sitting back there and then looking out at the crowd, and I was like, wow, feels like back to the beginning in a good way.
Yeah.
It really was like starting again, and there were like 250 people slammed in a tight club in Sweden. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I guess like the whole goal of these shows back then was we didn't want to call this tour anything too extreme. We just wanted people to know that it's our third record that we're trying out. And I know we kind of built this tour to go and spread around the new sound. Like we spent a lot of time explaining to people that we're doing a new sound. It's not punk rock.
We visited a lot of different places as well.
Yeah, and it was all built around like re-describing the band to everybody, and if it was cool that they still played us, which was a crazy time,
Yep, and after going through the 5/3 tour, I think we were halfway through that when we said, we think Youngblood should come first. We were like, let's put it out as a what were you calling it?
Instant grat.
Like an instant grat, or which is if you pre-order the record, you get Youngblood, which we called the album anyway.
But
and yeah,
I was just gonna say as well, this is the first album we would be doing streaming.
Yeah.
Like streaming at the forefront of the marketing plan. So we had to go into Spotify and Apple and Deezer.
Which we'd never done.
And literally introduce ourselves. They'd never met us. We had never participated in streaming. And they were like, okay, so like what's the new sound? And we showed them, and they were like, oh. So we had to build like alliance with people to like accept the new sound and let us have another shot.
And then Youngblood starts kind of going a little crazy on streaming, and there's a couple of I told you so's going around.
There's a couple.
Maybe there's a couple, and then we get a phone call from the guy down in Australia, the Australian label, and they're basically telling us that they want to go with that as the single in Australia rather than Want You Back. And we're kind of like, okay, let's try it. Like, that was what we thought. So, they start going with Youngblood, and then Youngblood really starts to, like, seep into the kind of music scene down in Australia, which ends up kind of evolving outwards to the rest of the world as well, until the song had kind of given everyone else in the world no option but to go with it because it was kind of going so well everywhere else.
And this is one of the first times this is happening. This is a big moment for Aussie music too, because now records are starting to break from Australia, which they never do. You always are expected to go to the US first and try to break the record from the US, but now our song is breaking out of Australia, which is a huge moment for this band.
That Dean Lewis song broke out of Australia.
Yeah.
Tones and I have Australia.
And then there's been an endless stream ever since.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing time.
Even Kid Leroy now.
Exactly, yeah.
That's pretty crazy, actually.
Yeah, and it was an amazing spread on that song, and we just watched it grow and grow and grow, and it was an amazing thing to experience. Because after 2017, after we had spoken about okay, what do we even do, and how do we do this, we were kind of receiving a kickback for being like, I don't know, just still chasing it down.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I remember we would have conversations with people and be like, oh yeah, like we love Youngblood, we think it's super forward thinking for like this band, and we want to release it first. And everyone was like, I mean, someone said to Ash, what, live drums will never be played on radio?
Yeah, that was our record label guy. He's like, live drums, man, you got to ditch the live drums.
Yeah, so when Youngblood was doing so well, it was like a really comforting thing for this band, because that indicated that we could blend all our worlds and it still derive from an honest place, and it still have an impact on music culture, which was really cool. And for it to stem from Australia was really special as well, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when that song started to kick off, we had limited time and limited budget. We didn't have any budget left to make any music videos. We had I think it was I don't know, a small amount of money. And so we didn't have time to film a video for it. So we ended up sending somebody to Japan.
We're on a train somewhere.
Yeah.
And someone comes up to us and asks, I think it's fucking crazy, but we were in Japan.
Yeah.
I want to say we were in Japan on the train from Tokyo to Osaka, and someone came to us and said, hey, we want to film a video for Youngblood, but you don't have time. Like, you don't have a day off in the next 2 weeks that you can record a video. And I remember us being like, well, then fuck, like, what do we do? And then whoever it was said we could have a director go somewhere and film the video without us.
Yeah, because at that time we were hell-bent on not being on the cover of everything because our image had been so exploited that we were like, well, how do we grow up?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you just stop putting yourself on the cover of everything and just dial it back. So I guess at the time it was a good strategic move for us to just do something like this that was like not throwing the band's image down your throat. It was just like a narrative that represented the lyric.
Yeah.
And it was the first time we'd ever done anything like that. So we ended up tapping into the Japanese rockabilly culture, which was relevant to our whole journey and people we were meeting and the clothes we were wearing and the style we were digging. And we ended up doing that with Frank Barn, who you'll remember from episode number 1. We met him in Saddle Ranch. And now he's back again. He's in 2018 now, and he's had a lot of success with other people. And we're calling him up again going, hey, we need you to make a video for us, but we can't be in it.
Yep.
And we ended up doing a live video for Youngblood, which was
filmed at the Coco
on the 5 Sauce 3 tour.
Was it Heaven?
Which was filmed at Heaven, which is a great night out usually.
Yep, usually. And when we're not playing.
When we're not playing. And yeah, so we were kind of again acting on the fly, trying to just get this thing off the ground.
Go with what we could.
Yeah.
And
then we started the Meet You There tour. Where did we play for that?
Yeah, which is a cool thing. Like, we wanted to call that tour La Vie en Bleu at the time because we were trying to do this, like, more sophisticated, like, fucking Depeche Mode thing. We're like, we need to grow this band up. Like, what do we do that improves our image in a way that it's, like, resonates with this new way of music we're making, this dark pop single that we've got working called Youngblood. Like, how do you tie everything in with that aesthetic, you know? And I guess 2018 is when we really started thinking about the aesthetics that tie in with our music and the way the visual world ties in with the music and the way the culture comes from the way we present that. So we started to switch our minds on to really, really putting effort into what things were called and why they were called that. But Meet You There tour was probably my favorite tour we've ever done.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The stage was amazing.
Yeah.
The production was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
We had like the lights that came up in threes and stuff.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then, yeah, we played so many amazing shows on that tour. That was like fucking so sick.
And it just felt like the band were great. Like the catalog was like the 3 albums were starting to be fun. We could create diverse set lists.
Yeah.
And like it was starting to have little eras that the fans were enjoying, and it's like we started to stumble into a really great season of the band's existence in 2018. And yeah, very grateful for everything that happened to us from then.
Mm-hmm.
Did we play in Oz then? We played Horden again, didn't we?
I think so, yeah. We did at the end of that.
Oh, and I mean, in November in 2018, we won Best Rock Act, and we also won Best Group, Best Aussie Live Act, and Song of the Year at the Arias, which was crazy.
Yeah, that was a big night.
That was a huge night for us.
Arias taking home 3 awards. That's very big.
Yeah. Fuck, I remember that night. I remember I was wearing a jumpsuit. I was very thankful I was wearing a jumpsuit because I wasn't sweaty.
Nice.
It was nice. Yeah.
I wore some weird Prince thing.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think it was cool.
It was cool.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Kind of.
Was it the thing that when you rubbed on it, it changed colours?
That was for the carpet. Yes,
Yeah,
darling,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
carpet.
Yeah, that was my carpet look.
That was the carpet outfit.
This tour was not nearly as long as other tours we'd done.
Nope, and that was because we said we couldn't do
No
that
more
long.
going on tour for 5 years, we said.
Yeah, we said no more touring.
How long was the tour?
I think it was only like 3 months.
42 shows, I think it was.
Oh yeah,
4 months.
we did do a whole tour before that.
So we're sitting on a plane, flight's ramped. Not even a seat open. It's really busy. We're sitting there in our chairs, and then the guy, this is the week after our record had come out, Youngblood, and as we're sitting there, we're waiting to find out where we ended up charting for the week, on the Billboard charts or whatever. And we're sitting there, and the flight just continually keeps getting delayed. But we're not too upset because it means we have service and we can keep waiting for the information.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we flying to?
Chicago or something.
Was it Chicago?
Oh, flying out of Chicago back to LA.
I have no idea.
That's fine. And then, we were up that whole week against the fucking, of course, the first time that Beyonce and Jay-Z had done anything together in like years, and they actually started an actual project together called The Carters, which was incredible.
Amazing.
It was so good. It was so insanely good. So we released our album, and we're like, oh, okay, we're fucked. Let's better luck next time.
Yeah.
And
surprise drop.
Yeah, by that surprise drop. And then as we keep going down the week, we're like, holy shit, like we might actually be able to do this. And then come that moment, sitting on the tarmac, waiting to take off, our manager walks over to us and says, guys, congratulations. You got a #1 album. And I remember it was very emotional.
Yeah. And I instantly, we deboarded the plane, and I went to McDonald's, got a 20-pack to celebrate.
I was right there.
20-pack of nugs.
Yeah.
I said, all right then.
We celebrated
I
with
said,
a 20-pack.
#1, let's get crazy.
Yeah. He has a 20-pack. Yep, I remember that. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Nuggets never tasted better.
No, they were success nuggets.
Yes, they were.
The best kind of nuggets. That is a huge moment.
Yep. And I mean, it was just 2018 was really telling about how our career was going in Australia, and we'd really wanted our home country to accept and love us.
Yeah.
And
we longed for it.
It had really turned a page, it felt like, and it was beautiful for us.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like maybe it wasn't the case, but for our whole career, because we started so young, we felt kind of like out of place in Oz. Like the public didn't really understand us, or didn't like us, or were indifferent to us in some, whatever it was. And Youngblood, like, really made it all make sense for them, it felt like. And, it's 3 years later, and it's
number 12 today.
Yeah, it's still on the charts.
Still charting from that moment.
Damn. It's actually, I think
Still
20, we're talking 2018, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the year that I started to become friends with you guys. Started to really get to know you.
Yeah. I've really come to like you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, in the beginning I was a little iffy about it. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, mate, I was iffy for a long time.
The rest of these guys.
We probably should have went the other way, huh?
What?
21 to 11.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Maybe, but...
Should we start again?
We could only turn back time for
we'll release Lie to Me with Julia Michaels. So.
And we just don't even mention that.
Yeah, whatever. You know, whatever.
Whatever. Well, you got enough?
It's another day.
Yeah.